Welcome back, sports fans, to a special episode of Ugly Thirds. Philip here, myself, with John.
Shrems is coming back. He's okay. If anything, he's better than okay. He's not here. So, he'll be back.
Yeah.
Calm down.
This is it's a special one, and I gotta get in some once in a while. And one of my jerseys I should use.
It's going to his head that he steps out from behind the table.
Okay. But anyways, Shrems will be back soon. So, all right. So we finally got some new ones in. We've been waiting for these for a while. We were waiting for them to go on sale, and then they went on sale, and then they actually went on sale. So
and then it took forever. So so first off, I did do a little bit of a faux pas. Well, first off, as usual, he bought the Adidas, I bought the Fanatics. But then some sales happened, and I did upgrade some to Adidas. So these have to.
You're welcome.
I mean, thank you for that word. JCPenney's of all people, had a sale. And so I have to make sure I'm delicate with these so I can get my Adidas ones in the mail. But we do get to compare them while I have them.
Yes, you do.
So, starting with probably the lesser of the two, the Vegas Golden Knights. I wasn't going to buy one, and then I saw the numbering, and I'm like, you know what? I got to buy one. And so to look at it, crest is felt. That is real stitching in there. Honestly, I'm impressed for Fanatics. On the numbers, sleeve numbers, there is no special stitch. On the back, it is a special stitch. That's raised. It's not printed, which is doing better than my Adidas one from last year. But I'm very curious to see what the Adidas version of the Vegas one brings us. The gold is worse in person than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's not even
mustard yellow.
It's a bad mustard. It's like a honey mustard. Well, okay, honey mustard's pretty tasty, but it's a honey mustard. It's not a very pleasant looking mustard.
And honestly, there might be some upgrades with the Fanatics because Fanatics is taking over at the end of the year. So they might be trying to
Fanatics and Winter Classics have been good. Like my one from last year for this was spectacular. Better than this one.
Alright, so here is Adidas. Rip that open. And so here's my Adidas. So again, it's a felt crest, which is almost comparable to the Fanatics. The back, you have the inside collar, but it's a little bit different quality.
This is a sticky print.
It is a sticky print here, but it looks different still. By any chance, it looks smaller.
Yeah, slightly.
And then I got Carlson because I thought I was going to let it get stoned. So
I got Stone. We can't have the same ones.
So eventually,
is that a thing you do with your friends? Can't have the same ones.
Eventually, because Carlson's supposed to have the A, I'll have the A. I'm gonna get the A put on.
Okay, so let's get into details. So on the crest, okay, so this is a regular stitch, just a zigzag, real tight. This is a chain stitch. There is that is significantly nicer if you know what you're looking at. Phil, do you know what you're looking at?
I actually kind of like this a little more than this, to be honest. I mean, this fits the theme of Vegas more with like
19 teens.
But the felt's the same.
The felt is the same. I'm actually shocked that the felt is exactly the same.
And the stitching around the felt is the same as well. So it's just the difference is in the type of chain here. And honestly, this might last longer than this, just based on how it looks right now.
Look, I love a chain stitch. I was going to point out this loose thread. Okay, it was just a loose thread. Yeah. Just literally a loose thread. Looking at the sleeve numbers, that doesn't look any different. A little higher, a little more. Doesn't look any different.
It is a different felt. This is very fine. This is more.
It doesn't feel like much of a difference.
You can see this looks a little fuzzier than this, but honestly, you really can't tell.
Let's look at the back. I imagine it's the same deal.
The nameplate looks. It looks like the same structure. It is just honestly like a slightly different felt to it.
And then let's look at the big numbers. Chain stitch, and the felt is. You say it's different. I honestly can't see it.
It's a different gold.
It is slightly different gold.
This one's more mustardy. That's more bright. This matches the gold of the jersey more.
Yes. This is.
And yours is more. Yours is a shinier one. Yeah. So. Yeah. And let's make sure we don't. So this does not have the patch on it. It did not come with it. So we'll have to.
Lame.
I don't know if that's a... Look at that.
Hmm.
I don't know, there's a line there. I don't know if that's a snag already.
I mean, it doesn't look like anything in there is. Can you see that line? Right there. Right there, that line. That's really hard to see on camera.
Yeah.
I imagine that's going to stretch out because I don't see anything, any pulls or snags.
Yeah, I don't see any snags or anything. All right.
All right, so set them up.
I don't have to see how this fits because every 56 is different. I wore the Mighty Ducks 56, the new one I got, and it fit pretty well. But this one's another 56, but it's a little bit tight in the shoulders, and darn me for being a...
I mean, honestly, for not wanting this jersey to begin with, I don't feel it's a big enough downgrade. Now, I love a chain stitch, so I am a little jealous of that. But is that worth an extra, what, $60?
I mean, with the
$239
discount that you got too.
Well, if Pennies would have had these in stock, I might have upgraded, but they didn't.
They didn't, and they didn't have some of the players too. Because with the Seattle one, we'll talk about in a second, like I didn't want to get a player because he was been injured, so I didn't know if he was actually going to play or not. We try to have the jersey that a player actually wears.
Well, yeah, you gotta do it right.
Like the one for the third jersey for the stadium last year's the Washington one. They had a stadium one, didn't they? Have
No, the stadium series Ovechkin didn't wear it.
Ovechkin didn't play, and then he never wore it at all
with the patch. No, he wore it in an extra game.
Did he wear? I didn't think he wore it actually.
No,
but anyways,
you gotta get a player who actually plays the game.
So there's Vegas.
All right. So, do you feel that you got enough out of your Adidas purchase?
I mean, I just feel like this is. I like how these fit, but I mean, it's just there used to be a bigger difference, and honestly, there's not much.
Yours is slightly brighter too. And
but you have brighter. Again, this is brighter.
It's brighter here in the crest, but your fabric, your off white is a little
and
brighter.
the shoulder pad, like this is more like a.
This is slightly more muted,
right?
But it is fine differences.
Yeah, so it's. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's go to Seattle, which I'm sure you're far more interested in. Again, I had to do the same thing.
Is mine over there? I don't know
where you threw it on the ground.
I did throw it on the ground. It's right here.
You barbarian. Okay, so the Seattle Fanatics. At first look, I am super thrilled about this. So on the crest, it actually is multiple layers. This is on top of the red, which is on top of the cream. They are different. Vintage white, I don't know. They are different. The stitching is there. I don't know if it's real or decorative. On the back, I thought the numbers were real too, because I was honestly jealous of the Heritage Classic. Those numbers are superb. How thick they are, and I thought maybe it was the same thing. No, this is printed, so the red and the vintage white are on one sheet, but like Fanatics did with the Penguins Heritage Winter Classic, this stitch is on top of it. So it kind of looks like it's in 3D, but it's not. All in all, I think it's a very good buy. I'm hoping, because I did buy the Adidas, the Adidas one to improve over my Fanatics, and I'm hoping it's worth it. Especially since the sleeve numbers are also more or less printed.
So,
and now the coup de grace.
This came directly from.
You show off that ornament.
I got an ornament.
From the Seattle Kraken store.
I get.
That's part of the vintageness.
Well, it's going to go right on that Christmas tree. Hey, that was worth the extra price.
There you go. That's why you paid.
I couldn't get group buyer. Usually I try to do goalies, but I couldn't. Can't have the same one as John, of course. So
I got that first.
I got this, and now at least this one also has the patch on it, so that's going to be an upgrade to it. But,
I'm likely going to have to buy the patch.
Patch has the A because it is.
Okay. All right. So let's first off, let's zoom out. Let's see the whole thing in its entirety. I mean, that's a good looking jersey. We know it is. It's good looking. All right. You wanna look at this? The crest doesn't look that. It is thicker. It is definitely thicker. You want to grab mine?
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm boring you. It is definitely a thicker felt, but it is not a significant difference.
It's a cleaner felt too. Like this one looks a little bit. You could tell it's cheaper here.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And I mean the lettering is like it just pops more. This is more of a duller colors, even though it's not much of a dull. This looks a lot crisper.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Vegas ones.
It's a lot crisper on there.
So, well, I mean, first off, which isn't on the Fanatics. Usually it is on the Fanatics. Sleeve numbers. Now, I saw another unboxing, and I thought maybe they cheaped out. They didn't. So this is printed with a stitch on top. This is, in fact, 2 numbers and the stitch there, or 2 layers, excuse me, and the stitch on top there.
I don't know if these actually stitch on there. It's just stitched around and glued together, to be honest.
Well, probably, but that stitch is real. And then let's look at the back. So, again, it is 2-layer. It is rather thick. Honestly, I don't know if there's that much bang for your buck on this one. All right, so here is a difference, and this is going to be really, really minor. You're going to probably have to get real close. So on these, the Fanatics letters, the stitching is on the inside. It is decorative, obviously. They glue everything. And here it is stitched on the outside of the letters. That's going to take some eagle eye. That's why you watch Ugly Thirds, right? Honestly, I don't know that I'm thrilled that I spent the extra to wait for the upgrade. I think I would have been just fine with the Fanatics. This is nice. This is not Heritage Classic nice. Those numbers were spectacular, and I was really hoping for that level. They were thick. There was some like beveling in it. It was layered well. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. This is nice, and it's a thick felt, but I'm not blown away. Not by the difference between the Adidas and Fanatics. And I know, I'm the apologist, but I guess one of us will be happy next year. Ish. Depends on if it's heat-pressed garbage. But my one line in the sand, heat-pressed garbage.
Well, it will depend on what Fanatics... It will depend if Fanatics are going to go with that as their main and then do like a Mitchell & Ness quality for...
Yeah, if it's Mitchell & Ness quality for the lower ones,
then, yeah. I mean, I wish Adidas would do the sizing like the Fanatics because a double X, like an XL fits me well in Fanatics. Double X is a little bit big, but then a double X, whatever, Russian roulette with the size of how it fits.
I am curious if they did this.
He's going into the closet. This is where it collapses on us and we have it on camera.
No, it's better. Okay, so I noticed that the vintage ribbing is here on the front of the collar. We knew that, but it stops. And it does this on both Fanatics and Adidas. And I thought, well, maybe the old Dallas Winter Classic, which admittedly mine is a Fanatics, would have the same thing because I couldn't find an Adidas. You find one, you send one. Comments below. I would have expected that to be the whole way around like Minnesota's old collars were and such. Oddly enough. Like the old ones. Right? It's ribbed up here, but it's also the whole way around. Why does it stop arbitrarily?
I'm actually happy that the patch does not have Discover in it. Like if you look at the logo online of the Winter Classic logo patch, it says Discover down here.
It's the clean version, and they've done the clean versions until the Global Series this year. They put an ad on it for the first time, which I guess that's telling you the direction of the NHL anymore. Okay, so first and foremost, are you happy with your Adidas over Fanatics?
I mean, as I die. I am. I like having the authentic because I can get the authentic. But is there much of a difference? Not really. Like these ones, I mean, it's very comparable with the outdoor game they had again with Washington with the differences. The slight differences, the 3D-ish versus a non-3D-ish. I guess time will tell with wearing it and Washington. How it worship and washing it and determine to see how it stands up with time because the Reebok shoulder patches they're nice and clean but then they fade
and they flake away
it's just one of those which one's gonna last time, so we'll see how it is. And I mean, if this is what Fanatics Authentic gonna be, I'll be happy with this.
It's good enough. Certainly
it's good enough. But I just hope they don't which they will. They'll jack the price up to what an Adidas Authentic is. So I'll be curious what will be happening. We got our jerseys. We had
and then I guess finally, are you satisfied that you got both teams.
Oh, of course. Of course, I am happy to wear both teams because, I mean, last year, if you didn't figure out the theme yet of what we're wearing right now, we got the same. We got both last year, and actually,
I didn't get I still haven't gotten the Boston one. I can't say I desire. I mean, if I see one cheap enough,
I mean, they've been like $40. Like,
I haven't seen a $40 one. I've seen in the 70 range. I'm still not willing to pay $70 for one. I don't love it.
Like 40, 50 or something like that.
Yeah, probably in all like 46s.
Probably at that point because they make a ton of 46s and there's not really that many people that can wear 46.
Right.
So, yeah, I the other thing is too because Vegas is so new, I have every Vegas jersey. I have every Seattle jersey. So if I'm gonna keep it where I have every jersey, I had to get both. So, yeah.
All in all, yeah. I mean, if you can still get them, they're worth it. I don't know that it's worth the upgrade. If you can only find Fanatics, I think you're not settling it much if you settle for Fanatics.
The Fanatics fits better for sure. And that's a thing of a comfort thing. That's.
I don't love the Vegas one. I don't. It's interesting.
Interesting. When we talked about the video when we introduced it, it's hard because they're both such new teams. Seattle does have that history of winning the Cup in 1917. Vegas.
Yeah, they're making a whole cloth.
Yeah. So, you didn't want to do red though because Seattle was going to do red.
Right.
My only thing is I wish they would have done more red and green, maybe in the color to show back to the old, or even green in here.
I think they should have went with green, but and use this as the whatever we talked about that. It should have been a straight throwback for this. It should have been this in the reverse retro too. But look, you got an ornament though. If you go in from the Seattle team store. Huh?
Well, that's probably threw it in because of how much I paid for it. That shipping was fast. I mean, it came within 3 days, so.
Unlike Vegas.
Easy. Let's go on the tree. Go ahead.
So, that's our review. Get them if you can, I guess. Seattle especially, I'd say. And I don't think you're doing bad if you have the Fanatics. Feel free to flame me in the comments. I know it's coming. I'm John. He's Phil. Phil, take us out.
All right. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications when new videos are posted. And tune in for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
Red and green. There's nothing wrong with green.